Are you here? Alan and Pete. Rita Lashway. Victor Johnson. He couldn't come. Gordon Little and Andy Cotton. Is Andy here? Okay. So Zahn was the one who asked me to write a resolution, and so here it is. Okay. Our resolution on his retirement. Whereas Dan Zimbrowski has minded our byways for near half a century, our road crew travels 100,000 fleet miles every year. The moon is scarcely 240,000 miles from the town garage. Collectively, how long would it take our crew to reach the moon and return? And the answer is 4.8 years, I think. Okay, that was the math problem component. Whereas Dan has studied every nook and cranny of Guilford from childhood, Algiers and beyond, always outdoors, fashioning forts, crossing trails on skis and roads on anything with wheels around guys he'd someday hire. And whereas Dan married Susie from out of town at Broadbrook Range, his best man laid the fire the night before. 3 sons followed wherever work brought him to the milking parlors on local hills. And whereas Harvey Cutting, road commissioner, got Dan to try on a storm, he took to it. Sometimes the kids rode with him plowing. Jeremy, loving the solitude of a classic snow, followed his dad to a livelihood. Tony remembers Dan in his recliner, gazing out the picture window toward heavy weather. Any holiday, Ron recollects, it was "Here comes pennies from heaven again." You all know, like, pennies from heaven? Like the snow. And whereas Dan, diligent, dedicated, systematic, thrifty, never missed a day, as foreman, the layout and plan were all in his head. Nothing fazed him, spinning out on the Greenland bends, bridges to mend. And tired is just a state of mind. That was Alan Belleville talking. You force yourself to focus. Snow wears on your eyes. Ice is a mystery. You sand, turn around, and it's gone. And whereas the stars aligned, and Dan hired the finest crew, capable, taking pride in the job done right, building a stone header around a culvert, and this is Pete Higley. Sometimes Dan would stop by in the ton truck to watch. It was all good. And whereas his guys were lifers, checking on old timers if they didn't see chimney smoke in winter, staying ahead of school buses, sanding, ready to rescue, rewarded by Rita at dawn with warm cinnamon buns. What a shout out for Rita over here. And brave, heading out with a chainsaw when a cracking tree or a skid could be a trip to oblivion. And whereas friends weigh in, Dan's the man I'd want by my side going into any battle situation. That was Gordon. He's a fun guy to play golf with, really good at it, great company, easygoing, happy to be there. That's Andy. 2 weeks in the Maine woods over 20 years, from deer camp to a condo where you just turn up the thermostat. Victor. Shooting grouse that don't tend to fly when you stumble on them. Best cooked in the woods over an open flame. And whereas At night's end in the town garage, when his weary crew gathered, Dan was heard to quote Clint Eastwood's movie, "We whooped him again, didn't we, Josie?" Is that true? That's Alan. That's exactly right. That's right. And Dan expressed the wish someday for his ashes to be spread across the roads of Guilford, and therefore, neighbors, let us resolve a long, long life for Danny Z. May your grit and grace always steady our ways, and heartfelt thanks for love well spent.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming. I didn't expect this many people to show up. It's been a long time. This job has been my life. I've met a lot of nice people over the years. Had good road crew members. Select board had some good select boards. We had some discussions, on different things. But overall, I'm really proud of and happy that there's such a good turnout, and I'm pretty impressed. I want to thank you all.
Thank you.